Now, the thing about the Asuras and the Devas, the reason why Demeter is so important is because if Demeter is indicating the harvest and Sirius is indicating the harvest is an earthly concern, not a spiritual concern, especially for wheat. Wheat is very detrimental to the human system because of gluten, and yet the Israelites propagated it, sold it, and based a whole industry on it. They made extreme amount of money on the sale of wheat in the time of Virgo, the yearly time of Virgo, thus tainting the Virgin. But it all was based on Sirius, the timing of Sirius rising. Well, Sirius, the alternate names of Sirius, that even Stellarium hasn't even edited out yet, is Canicula, which associates the dog, as well as Asherah, which is Asherah, which is the tree of life.
Glorious are the names of Ashur and Asherah. Hello to you from Iran. Thank you for being with the Persian Magi. This sacred tree of the Assyrians is called Tree of Life. In Arabic, Shajar al-Tayyibah. Shajar al-Ish, or Ish, or Ash, coming from Ah, as I said, and she is the daughter, the God, the tree of God, while Shur is only the protector of God. Ashur is a feathered bird, god of sky, and represented by sun. Sur or Hur is the winged devil flying above with the sun disk in the middle because he is sun, while they have a tree too. In fact, the woman god, who is the essence of life and love, which in Egypt was symbolized as a cow or paga, and in Persian is depicted as a primordial bird called Pari, sea or Simorgh. In Assyria, this woman is depicted as a tree, the tree of life, Asherah, meaning the god of life or tree of life. The picture of the tree of life with two winged genies tending it and Ashur flying above it was so important that had become the royal seal of the Assyrian Empire. In many cases, the king was depicted tending the tree as well. It gives the impression that in Assyria, everyone is there only to take care of the tree, the Asherah. The form of the tree is also interesting. While it is a tree, a current is also going on. I saw a paper from a Kabbalistic writer, Saimo Parpola, 1993, in the Journal of Near Eastern Studies, who discussed that the Kabbalistic diagram, or Zephirot, is a direct borrowing from the Assyrian tree of life. Actually, it can be discussed that the Shekinah of the Kabbalah is a female presence secretly accompanying the male god of the monotheistic Jewish. In this paper, he puts the main gods of Mesopotamia in different locations of the tree, and no doubt the place of Ishtar is in the center. When we notice, we see that as expected, Ishtar or Asherah is again an 8-pointed star. She has relationship with all 8 devils. In the meantime, she is in fact the heart and the center. Ishtar is keeping all clan of gods together. The others are just branches extending outside. That's why this is the tree of the woman god. What monotheists do is to remove the heart from the center of the tree. When the woman is not there, the tree is meaningless. All genies and devils will go away when there is no woman god in the center. After the tree is rooted and the clan of God is destroyed, the monotheists make a lineage, because line means one person being repeated through the time. In the story of Exodus, we read that Moses brought Israelites out of Egypt to find the land of Canaan. Well, Ezra the scribe, who wrote the first books of Torah many centuries later, apparently didn't have much information about the geopolitics of the region, because all lands of Canaan or Sham and Levant belonged to the great Assyrian Empire. The Assyrian Empire has historically and evidentially been there for at least 3,000 years. So when Yahweh of Torah promises this land to the tribes of Israel time and time again, he is in fact promising part of Assyria to them, part of the land of Assyrians, the strong people who are the worshippers of the tree of life. The kings of Assyria were king priests. They only cared about religion, and all their strong fights was for religion. The house of David could not have existed in Jerusalem with the consent of Assyria unless they believed in the same pagan religion. And we see that Torah believes David, the king of Israel, is a sinner, and Torah believes Solomon is even a worse sinner. But these sinners, meaning pagans, are ruling under the permission of Ashur. Then, after Solomon dies, their land is divided in two parts. The southern part is called Judea, meaning Jew and devil. This is what the house of David believed, and this is the Magi belief. And this house at that time continues there in Jerusalem. The northern part is called Israel, which contains 10 tribes of the sons of Israel, Jacob. And behold, they believe in the Father and Son rather than father and daughter. We said in our program about Jacob that 10 sons are inserted in this legend, while only 2 are the sons of Dinah. Then later on we have 10 lost tribes of Israel. It means 10 brothers are created by Torah writer and they just get lost. This Israel in the north of Judea means the alleged sons of Israel, and these sons of Israel are not pagans. So Assyria should remove them, and this is what they do. Israel, which was in the north, was removed by Assyrians. And even though Judea is a micro country holding Jerusalem and Bethlehem, the Assyria doesn't do any harm to them. In fact, the Assyrians supported the house of David. Actually, nobody could have built the first temple of Jerusalem without the consent and permission of the Assyrians. You see, the Israel in the north is sacked by Assyrians, while the temple is safe and sound, built and kept in Jerusalem, which is in fact part of Assyria. Why? Because the tree of life is there, and Assyria is its protector.
Asherah, Asherah, which is the tree of life, which is cognate with the Asuras, the most powerful star with the most powerful. Another one in Libra, Alpheka, the crown of Libra, also known as Ashtaroth, Ashur, Roth, Ashter, Asher, Roth. Roth is in Rothschild, is in the red Asher. Red because this is cardinal air. Air is red. And one of the reasons why air might be red is because it associates with the woman who always bleeds. As many Christian demons nowadays used to be ancient goddesses. Lucifer and Beelzebub. Astaroth in other cultures. Astarte, Inanna, Ishtar, Isis. They bury the woman, the daughter, the feminine god, as evil. We know that Libra is Lucifer. Sirius is taking that over, as Astaroth was Libra, cardinal heir, Astarte, and Asher all became Sirius. The stone, the builders have accepted, rather than true air signs. This is under Gemini, the air sign that doesn't go past the blue sky, doesn't go to the stars, doesn't go into the heavens. It stays close to the earth as a four-legged animal associated with Jupiter, not with time, not with divinity. So in a previous video, I told you about this war that happened as documented in the Rig Veda, the Battle of the Ten Kings. And it happened, according to Western academic consensus, 1450 to 1300 BC. According to Indian scholarly position, 2350 to 3700 BC. Archaeological evidence is complex. So 3700 BC is as far back as this happened. And from this war, I made this list. The 10 kings and tribes war in India, as accounted in the Rig Veda. Now, according to this, the Bharata was the tribe native Indians call the country today, because of the winner of this war, who was King Sudas. King Sudas was from the tribe of Bharata. And from this, because he won the war, Indians call the country, and of course today they call it Bharata. They call it Bharata. This was an ally of his. The enemies, however, they became exiles to the country, which, in my opinion, all of these other tribes were different from the Bharata because the Bharata believed in the Vedic system of the Devas as important and the Asuras as worldly, something that causes vice, whereas the Devas are something divine. Now the Parsis are well known for becoming the Persians. Very well known. Now I thought, what about all the other tribes? Well, if they were all exiles, they couldn't all have stayed locally. So this list includes the whole world as far as I can put together. The Purus, for instance, they were, scholars associate the Purus as being a confederation. Well, the Iroquois were a confederation. And the Purus, if you get rid of the P, is very close to Iroquois. In my opinion, they became the Iroquois Confederation as language develops over the course of millennia. The Anu developed the highest god of Sumer, which is an observational astrology. And Anu was a name that went to Mexico with the Toltecs. The Druya could have become the Druids. The Paktha were the Pakistani or the Dakota. And the Balana could have been the Helenas or the Alans or the Baal worship, because there was also the Alina. The Alina could have also been the Alans or the Hellenes. So the Balana could have been just the Baal worship. So and in this, there's an updated list. Sivas is the Sibylline or the Etruscans. The Brygu is the Phrygians. Matsya, which was the Vishnu's fish avatar, could have been the Mississaugas, who was a tribe who became the Mississippians. The Yaksu could have been the Yakuza. So Sirius leads us to see the Asuras. The fixed stars, are the Persian and all the other exiled belief systems, tracking the stars by the timing of events in the east, because the firmament holds no karmas. The planets in the Vedic system with the invisible house system, this holds all the karmas. With the migration of the exiles, believing in the father and the daughter, who they assign the father as the sun, protecting Venus, when in reality, this is the father, protecting Venus. The esoteric father. The ones the inner circle know. Not the sun is what they tell you, when really the sun is only what they want you to know, not this. This is the true father, the protector of Venus.